Randolph School. Randolph has been involved in the Memory Project now for 5 years and is really a top-level contributor to the project, creating amazing artwork. By the way, these portraits are from schools all over the country. It's just kind of the generic slide I have. But soon you're going to see the Randolph portraits from this year being delivered to kids in Ecuador. But first, we have a lot more to get through. And I actually, before telling you about the Memory Project and how it got started and the whole story, I want to ask you a favor, and that is if you could help me out with a little show of hands survey. I'm just really curious about this. I'm really curious to see what hands go up. So first of all, where are the seniors at? Hands up if you're a senior. Oh, okay, are we seated by? Okay, that's easy. Okay, we got seniors here. Now, raise your hand if you're going to college. I'm sure pretty much everybody. There's always the one kid who's going off to the circus or something, but maybe all going to college. Now, circus right there. Okay, now put your hands back up. If you already know what career you want to have, if you know what you're going to study, you know what field you're going into, what you're going to do with your life, why isn't everybody in the back? Everybody in the back knows what they're doing. Okay, so some people. Now, keep your hands up if you fit into that little category. Now, keep your hands up only if you are so certain of that choice. You're so certain of your career path. You know exactly where you're going to be in life in 20 years, what your job will be. Any hands? One? What are you going to be? What is it? What are you going to be? Oh, okay. And you'd bet $1 million on that? People know it's going to be true? Okay. So now, when I was your age, and by the way, I can't believe I'm old enough to say that. I'm 30, and when I was your age, I was certain that I was going to go into psychology. I really thought I was going to go to college, study psychology, maybe become a psychology professor, do those crazy psychology studies you've read about. I mean, that was just fascinating to me. But you guys, I changed my mind so many times. It was like every year, more than every year. I was first psychology, then I actually decided to be a doctor, because in college you're going to meet so many people. I mean, everybody you meet in college, I guarantee you at one point is going to say they're going to think of becoming a doctor. But I passed through that, and then I thought about being a wildlife biologist, because I thought, how cool would it be to be with National Geographic, and off in the Amazon or something. I love wildlife. And then I thought about being a nurse, and I thought maybe I could go sign up and work with Doctors Without Borders or the Red Cross, go around the world and help out as a nurse. And then I thought, well, I have a lot of experiences to write about. Maybe I'll be a writer. And so by the time I was thinking about being a writer, I then had to graduate because, the money was gone and it was time for me to leave college and they wanted me out of there. So I then had to just graduate with a psychology degree because that's what I had the most class credits in, even though I didn't want to be a psychologist anymore. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I mean, I was totally clueless about what I wanted to do for a career, all that stuff, where I was headed. And everybody around me seemed like they knew what they wanted to do with their lives. My roommates, so when graduation came around, they were applying for jobs or applying to medical school, law school, dental school, MBAs, you name it. And the only thing I knew was that I had become obsessed with reading about figures like Gandhi, Mother Teresa, the Dalai Lama, the type of people you hear about who win Nobel Peace Prizes and who are declared to be saints in the case of Mother Teresa. This type of people who, they're the ones who are out there doing the opposite of what most people do. Most people in our country, most people in the world want to, succeed for themselves. They want to have a good life, a happy life, make some money. Not everybody needs to be a millionaire, but in general, people want to make money. They want a nice place to live, maybe a decent car to drive, nice clothes to wear. But I became obsessed with reading about people like these figures that I mentioned, who did the opposite, who said, I don't want any of that. I don't care about money. I don't care anything about my own well-being, my own status. All I want to do is give my life to helping people in need, to helping people who are suffering, who have been abused, who are homeless, who are depressed. I mean, you name it. So I was just reading books, and I thought, well, since I don't know what I want to do with myself, I have no idea. I want to get a job. I mean, what kind of job? What does that even mean? Maybe I will just try to live my life like that. Maybe I'll become basically like a full-time volunteer, live like a monk, so to speak. Now, this is where, you guys are young, of course, and as you get older, you got a lot of comedy ahead of you because you start to look back on your earlier years and you start laughing at yourself because you're like, what was I thinking?